and welcome to the Orlando World Sunday Showdown quarter-final round. This week's episode is the final quarter-final, with two of Disney's Animal Kingdom attractions going head-to-head with Pandora the World of Avatar's flight simulator ride Avatar Flight of Passage going up against the exciting Expedition Everest roller coaster. As always, let's take a quick look at both of these attractions. Avatar Flight of Passage is the 3D motion simulator attraction which has been such an incredible attraction for theme park guests to experience, along with the rest of Pandora the World of Avatar, which was the revamped area of Camp Mini Mickey at Animal Kingdom, opening on the 26th of May 2017. You experience the ride on the back of a Banshee pod and take flight through the incredible 3D world, which is presented on a giant IMAX screen, which immerses you into the open world along with an array of impressive special effects. Disney created one of the most invigorating and breathtaking 3D-themed attractions, which does extremely well at creating a lifelike world, which so many other 3D attractions find difficult to do. Its added senses of various real-life elements like wind, ocean spray and various smells all add to the realism, in what had been described as simply one of the best overall ride experiences at any theme park. Expedition Everest is known as one of the mountain attractions within Walt Disney World, standing at 199.5 feet tall. It's the tallest structure within the Disney Resort, being just 6 inches taller than Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios. It opened in 2006, at a cost of $100 million, at the time, the most expensive roller coaster ever built, until Hagrid's Magical Creatures motorbike adventure smashed the record in 2019 at $300 million. The attraction is a hypercoaster which features several switched tracks, with both forward and reverse sections of the towering attraction. It's similar to Thunder Mountain and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train in terms of theming and pace, but features an 80-foot drop. It's a fun attraction which takes you through the Himalayan mountains to the base of Mount Everest, in one of the most fun coaster rides in the Disney Resort. Now let's head into this week's series of 5 rounds, and see which of these two attractions take the final slot going into the round of 16. Let's go to round 1. Avatar Flight of Passage in terms of its overall theme and storyline needs to be experienced to be truly believed. The incredible levels of detail from the overall theming of the Pandora world outside, with its stunning floating islands, bioluminescent flora and the breathtaking Valley of Mora mountain backdrop, the land is a paradise from the get-to. It's just as impressive heading through the attraction, with a cue theme to that of the ACT program, where almost 100 years after the events of the Avatar movie, both humans and Na'vi inhabitants are trying to restore levels of Banshee which have come under serious threat due to years of destruction at the hands of the RDA, and you pass through the camp laboratory with its life-sized member of the Na'vi housed in a water chamber, along with other recognizable props from the film. The ride itself features a giant near 100-foot IMAX screen which wraps around the Banshee pod systems, which are some of the most interactive ride seats ever built, with the legs harnesses featuring breathing pads, which simulate the breathing patterns of the Banshee you are flying on, along with the added elements which heighten your ride experience, giving you the absolute best 3D theme ride possible. And to top it all off with the bioluminescent cascade of colour at night, where the experience is just as special, adding yet another incredibly impressive level of immersion to its theming. Expedition Everest is a record-breaking attraction for both height and original construction costs, both of which have contributed to the immensely detailed ride. The ride is themed around the Himalayan Escapes travel agency which is located in the fictional Circazong region at the foot of the Himalayan mountains. Expedition Everest takes riders on a treacherous journey through the mountains where they come face to face with the mythical creature known as the Yeti, which stands at over 25 feet tall, and was one of the most complex animatronics ever built for a Disney attraction. The attraction is themed so incredibly well, so much so, that even on a minuscule scale to the real mountain range, you are taken along for an immersive ride through a visually stunning route, taking you into the unknown heights of the mountain. It's fun and thrilling, and the theming and story draw you in, making it one of the most popular rides at Animal Kingdom. So in round 1, Avatar Flight of Passage takes the first point, by just having a little bit better theming for the ride as we move on now to round 2. Avatar Flight of Passage for a flight simulator attraction has a decent capacity. The attraction has a highly interactive queue area with plenty to keep guests entertained throughout the high wait times, and with many of the newer built attractions, Flight of Passage features 2 pre-show rooms, where you get a lot of the backstory, and some general ride instructions, as a way to pass the time before getting on to the main attraction. This helps to increase capacity as more people can experience the attraction at different intervals while taking away a lot of the long wait with nothing to do. Each briefing room holds 10 people, which means there are 10 Banshee pods in each section. There are multiple sections on several floors, which give the ride an average yearly capacity of up to 1,800 riders per hour. Expedition Everest has a surprisingly good capacity for a coaster which has a few switch tracks in its layout. But with some clever seamless trickery from the ride animatronics and theming, it keeps the coaster moving almost continuously through the circuit. The ride operates with 6 trains, each with 6 cars. Each train has 17 rows, with riders seated in 2 in each row, for a total of 34 riders per train. That gives a total of 204 riders per each full ride cycle. This gives an average yearly capacity of 2,050 riders per hour, which means at the end of the second round, Expedition Everest comfortably takes the point to level the score as we head into the third round. Let's go to round 3. Flight of Passage is a multi-level kind of experience, which offers a fairly lengthy experience overall, if you include the briefing segments in the pre-show, and interactive themed areas throughout the queue sections, each giving a few minutes of added entertainment value. The full experience is around 20 minutes long when all things are taken into account, although the action main attraction itself lasts only 4.5 minutes. But it's well worth the wait, and with the added pre-show time, it's a decent experience in terms of its duration. The main show is quite short, with many riders wishing it lasted longer, but it's an exceptional experience, which feels much longer than it is with a fairly good pacing throughout each area, making it a very well-balanced theme park attraction. Expedition Everest runs at a fairly lengthy duration for a roller coaster ride. It was considered one of the first highly themed show coasters, featuring a number of unique elements which helped 59 raise the duration slightly. At 2 minutes and 50 seconds, Expedition Everest gives just enough time to take riders through a thrilling enough experience, adding to theming by speeding up the chase from the Yeti, but feeling long enough where it doesn't pass too quickly. So in the third round, Avatar Flight of Passage takes the lead, again being a much longer attraction as we move on to the penultimate round. When it comes to popularity, there are very few major attractions that can match that of Avatar Flight of Passage. Since its opening in 2017, it's regularly been one of the most popular rides to visit, with often incredibly long wait times, which have been more than consistent over the last 3 years or so. It's easy to see why it's such a much-loved attraction, with its incredible scenery and stunning ride entrance area, to the scale of the theme and decoration throughout, and most importantly the main attraction itself in all its stunning 3D glory. Flight of Passage has been credited as being one of Disney's most valuable attractions, which brought a major boost to Animal Kingdom due to it being so highly regarded. It will most likely be Disney's marquee attraction at Animal Kingdom for many more years to come. The Expedition Everest Hypercoaster has always been considered one of the best and most popular attractions within Disney World. It was only the second ever Disney roller coaster which had backwards movements, after the Indiana Jones coaster attraction at Disneyland Paris, and also one of the only attractions within the resort to use switch tracks which both use forward and reverse movements. Expedition Everest is always near capacity, being an ever-popular attraction within the park, which has steadily begun adding more thrill rides over the years. But in terms of popularity, there's little to deny that Avatar Flight of Passage has been a resounding success at Animal Kingdom, where it takes the point as we go into the fifth and final round. Flight of Passage in itself isn't the most thrilling ride if you are seeking the ultimate adrenaline rush. But where it does produce the thrills is through the sheer magic that the technology produces, taking you deep into the infinite world of Pandora. The thrills you experience are incredible throughout the journey, with a mesmerizing blend of emotions that you experience as you fly gracefully through Pandora. It's a ride that you really need to try to fully appreciate just how special an attraction it is, with its range of motion, stunning visuals and the addition of smells and weather elements counteracting what is playing out on screen. Flight of Passage is truly amazing experience which gives the riders a feeling of sheer freedom, taking you into a world that feels limitless and ultimately giving you an uplifting and empowering experience. Expedition Everest is a really fun and thrilling coaster ride. It's not the most intense ride, and is very similar to other family coasters in the Disney parks, like Thunder Mountain and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It does have the element of fear attached to it, as you expect to run into trouble along the way, while trying to avoid the dangerous Yeti in the mountains. The ride takes you to the peak of the mountain, where the track ends, almost tipping you over the edge of the 200-foot high ridge, before hurtling you back with incredible power as you roll mercilessly back down the forbidden tracks. It's a fun ride, with enough intensity and immersive elements to make this a very decent family thrill ride experience, and is testament to it being such a good ride. So in round 5, Avatar Flight of Passage takes the point, for being a truly immersive simulation experience. So after all 5 rounds, we do have a convincing winner this week. Which does sadly mean that the trail for the Illusion Mythical Yeti goes cold as Expedition Everest sadly drops out of the competition. Expedition Everest, though, has been one of the best and most consistently popular attractions within the Disney World and is still one of the most fun roller coaster rides within Florida. The ride will continue to make a major impact within the park as it is one of the best and most unique coaster attractions, which is always good for a thrill within the park. Avatar Flight of Passage advances to the next round. Join us for next week's episode for a look back at the winners and losers of the quarterfinals with a recap episode. See you next time. We hope you enjoy this video. Please support us by subscribing to our channel. You can find us on social media platforms. Find us on Facebook and Twitter at Orlando Worlds, and on Instagram at The Orlando Worlds. Thanks for watching.